Good morning, Monday morning. To you, the last American pubcasters, it's Tom from America Floats. I wanted to talk about one article in particular as we head into Election Day tomorrow, and of course, be sure to be here on the last American pubcast to watch the election night panel coverage. Here from the New York Post today, an opinion from Joe Borelli. He says, Lee Zeldin can win New York's governor race. You just need to turn up and vote. So, history may be set. Records could be broken in the Empire State. For the Big Apple, you could have a Republican governor for the first time in a long time if you just show up and vote. Joe Borelli from the New York Post says, Lee Zeldin, congressman, lieutenant colonel, husband, and father, does not need a master strategy to win Tuesday's race for governor. He doesn't need a celebrity endorsement, an October surprise, or a rabbit's foot, or a rain dance. He needs one thing and one thing only. You, the voter. You, the face staring at these words right now, the brain digesting the knowledge that your vote may finally count for something, may finally lead to changes in our lives for the better, once and for all. Joe writes, My fellow New Yorkers, I am writing this piece to let you know it is your votes that will ensure Lee Zeldin becomes the 58th governor of our once great state. You have read the Post for months now, maybe years. And time and again, its pages are filled with the frequent fulfillment of our worst fears. The crime, the corruption, the skyrocketing cost of living, and above all, the incompetent and reckless stewardship of our state government. The unchecked power of the Democrat Party has eroded our quality of life and transformed the Empire State into the vampire state, sucking the lifeblood from its citizens and forcing countless numbers of our friends and coworkers to flee for greener pastures. Folks, I'll say it again for the people in the back who may not have heard. The unchecked power of the Democrat Party has eroded our quality of life and transformed the Empire State into the vampire state, sucking the lifeblood from its citizens and forcing countless numbers of our friends and coworkers to flee for greener pastures. Do you think that that is just colorful or artful language, or do you think that there might be something to read into there? Tuesday is the one opportunity you have left to say enough is enough, to say no, niet, no mas, none, la, bushi, or nahin. It's time to tell Kathy, almost called her Karen, Kathy Hochul, that New Yorkers have been pushed around by the far-left woke mob for too long. The race is tightening. Recent polls show a massive shift in momentum toward not just Zeldin, but a broad slate of moderate Republican candidates across the state. Victory is within reach, and yet victory in and of itself is not the end goal for Lee Zeldin. He wants to save the state, to restore balance to the once great government and deliver safe communities where everyone can thrive. That will not happen unless you act, unless you, the New Yorkers, the Jew-dorkers, go to vote. If you're reading this in a bodega, or if you're Dr. Jill a bogeda, waiting for your breakfast, maybe it's a breakfast taco, concerned about the crime that has recently plagued your neighborhood, know this: the governor, Kathy Hochul, and Democrats who have long prioritized the well-being of criminals over the safety of the decent people you know, you can vote to change that. If you're sitting in your local taxi or Uber stop and the vehicle whose daily miles put food on your table, concerned about now how Kathy Hochul's congestion pricing will charge your family and you'll make less money, you can now vote for Lee Zeldin to stop that. The Metropolitan Transportation Authority wastes $30 million a year, or in this year, building a staircase while allowing fare beaters to roam free on trains. Oh, fare beaters, I see. They beat the fare. They hop the turnstile. They roam free on trains and buses. Yet Kathy Hochul thinks your bank account should be the one to pay for the agency's waste and mismanagement. Say no tomorrow. Here you can read on. They want you to take crime seriously in New York. It may be the first time since the early 90s that you've seen a break in crime. And it's fair. They say they're not going to end all crime for good. He says, I'm not saying Lee Zeldin will end all crime. That's fair, because He won't, but he's going to do his best and he's going to do his level best for what the government is supposed to do to stop it. If the government has any kind of power to punish criminals and prevent crime, they ought to enforce the law. They are required to. It's their responsibility. If they don't, we drag them out and replace them with new government who will. Do that tomorrow with your vote. That's what I think. You let me know what you think of this in the comments below. Be here tomorrow night, Tuesday. We're starting up about 6:30 or so on the Last American Pubcast. We'll have all kinds of guests throughout the night. You can be there, join us, and help us all continue to grow that channel, grow that show, and, keep America afloat.